Hello! I guess I didn't do intros to the other ones. Hello and welcome to the Iron Maiden. I haven't got a guest with me today as of yet, maybe one will drop in, but we're just going to play some Vynnset games, and then maybe a draft. Now, we haven't had very good drafts so far in the 3 streams. Not very good drafts, so hopefully we can get a better draft this time. Vynnset games have been fun and good. I've been playing Katsu a little bit, as a kind of break from Vynnset from all the testing. It's been fun. Katsu's a great deck. Okay, so let's change over to competitive. And see who'd like to join us. Oh, I love the Leviathan matchup. This is one of the most fun matchups in the game. Honestly. We just want to be aggro and block. We want a D-react and a disruption. Hopefully my mic is loud enough. Let me know if anyone's watching yet. I'm not sure if anyone's watching yet. And then hopefully you'll let me know how I sound. Okay, so we want to be arsenaling a Shadow Puppetry. We're going to be playing this Deathly Whale next turn. And so I think it's correct to break Grimoire here. Now we can pitch either the Puppetry or the Eulogy. Puppetry blocks 1 less, so I could see that being an argument, but really I'm just going to pitch the worst card and have access to 2 very strong cards and probably just arsenal the second one after playing the first one. Cull does complicate that slightly, although we can keep a hand that we can like banish Cull and then Cull our own Eulogy. Yep, okay. So opponent doesn't have anything for us, which is totally fine. Definitely paying life here. So we have a few lines. We can pitch and play Eulogy from hand. Or we can flail. Or we can close chain and play Eulogy from banish. And we can also cull to get an action point. We want to give our opponent a blood debt, so I am incentivized to play this cull out, especially if our opponent's going to block. I think it's best to bait them. Probably they're blocking with their legs. Cool, and then we just cull them. Hopefully we get a blood debt for them. We're just going to get rid of another Eulogy, which is fine. We can play those next turn. Okay, we lose the Swing Big, but Swing Big was going to be 8 value on this turn, and now they might just have a no value turn, so that's fine as well. Reduce is nice. Oh, we don't... Okay, opponent is refusing to attack. Well, maybe they can't. So I think the line is Puppetry, and then we'll pitch and play the Whale. We go Whale into Whale. Opponent doesn't have the Intimidate helmet. It's always important to check for that Intimidate helmet because you can't do plays like this. There are very few hands where Vynnset wants to keep any cards, so your opponent will block with Scatter Skull, the first opportunity you give them. Okay, opponent wants to convert their hand. Destruction. No, I think we're fine with Blood Debt as we are. It does mean that next turn we'll have a disruptive effect. And they should have Blood Debt at the end of their turn, I would think. Okay, it's a big turn. So I'm expecting Blood Rush or something else that's like crazy. This could be a good turn to face Purg. It's early, but that's fine. Yeah, it's definitely Blood Rush, that's fine. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like this is probably a pretty good face Purg. Ooh, yeah, for sure. 100%. We do want this Funeral Moon to banish and we can't really play this incantation efficiently. Okay, so it's another 3 block, which is good. We give our opponent a free Sea Legs discard, but they were probably going to do that anyway. Gold Kiss Rum. Okay. Yep. We don't need to block with Reduce yet, but we want to be arsenaling this Dirge, so we might as well. And then Swing Big. Wow, opponent did have a good hand. I'm not sure that our face perk did a lot to that hand, although it did block 2 and draw us a 3 block. But it also kind of gave them an action point. Yep, that's fine. We take a bunch. Opponent now has Blood Debt, which is good for us. We can Eulogy, Close Chain, Moon, Eulogy. And then Arsenal Dirge, so that next turn we can play the game again. Otherwise, we can just play the Moon and pass, in case we draw a Reduce. So the double Eulogy line plays poorly if we draw a Reduce next turn. Depends if our opponent blocks, I guess. Maybe they see the line, they want to prevent it. Wow, they put a lot of cards into Banish this turn. Still have a lot of fuel though. Okay, opponent seems to want to prevent this double Eulogy line, which seemingly means that they'll be taking 2 Blood Debt, which I'm pretty happy with anyway. This is what makes the Levi matchup so fun, is they can't do this often. We were going to draw a Reduce. Okay, they're going to Hexagort. Cost them 5 life, which is a lot. So we might sink. We might sink and not actually sink anything. Yeah. Yep. We get to Arsenal this Reduce. We get to potentially play this Funeral Moon. Still have Quill Hand, which is sweet. Would like to draw Succumb to Temptation at some point. That makes Levi much easier if they're not going to block, which generally they can't or don't. See how opponent blocks. Okay, preventing Arcane, they might be afraid of Succumb to Temptation. They could block this all out, but they'd be taking 2 more Blood Debt. They can swing Hexagore again and take 4, which puts them on 15, and then they take 2 and go to 13, and then they can flip, right? Maybe that's the plan? That could be a plan. We could give them extra Blood Debt, but we kind of just don't want to. If they're going to flip this turn with 2... Well, I guess it doesn't actually matter. We can't give them extra Blood Debt, really, because it gets turned face down. And then we'll block with Reduce. That way we can play the turn without cracking Vexing. Arsenal Sink is cool. We can play Funeral Moon. It is sitting in here and hurting us. Let's do it now, because opponent seems to want to block. And it gives us a breakpoint on the Whale. An Arcane breakpoint. Yep, they do Plasma Fet. They only have 2 Blood Debt cards, but they still can't gain more Blood Debt. So this is still a good flip for them. It just isn't the powerhouse it normally is. Now it's just kind of a no blood debt anymore hero text. Okay, opponent really likes blocking. Way more than you'd assume an Elvira can. Now they can't take blood debt. They are going to start milling, but we're already 10 cards behind. Okay, pretty good hand. Kind of wish we could have filtered one of these annihilations. Opponent really likes to block. We can maybe design a hand that plays Dirge here. Eulogy, Pitch Annihilation, Dirge, Annihilation and Cull. Yeah. We've got to get some damage through at some point. Yep. I can live with that. They can prevent 4 more Arcane, but I think it's more likely that they take it and block efficiently. Okay. And then we can cull them here, so they have to take 6 more. CNC. Okay, opponent goes to 4. They have taken Arcane, so Creepers gets to live. Cleared our debt. Hand doesn't do anything, unfortunately. So we're going to Galaxia. Because the opponent really likes to block, I think I just don't want this to come. Like, everything is disruption when your opponent's at 4 life. Then we'll brunt this turn with our D-Reacts and put them in a blender, hopefully, where they get attacked every turn until they fumble and draw too many no blocks. Yep. Because there's basically no on-hits, I'm happy just to start blocking with armor early. There's technically CNC in this list we've seen, but I don't want to sink any of my cards. So I think I'll be happy to reduce to once again keep Quill Hand. We can always play the sink below if we get threatened too much. Yeah, CNC would be pretty devastating, and we might never be attacked again. Let's just play this, but not... I guess this Cull's not really going to do anything to them. Yeah, let's sink the Cull. Okay, that's not better or worse. That's just normal. That's fine. Ah, it was CNC. So we're going to have 3 Rune Chant, so we're playing Destruction. No longer has an on-hit, but opponent has to give us 2 cards to live every turn for the rest of the game. And we are in no shortage of auras. So we're just going to attack. As long as we draw an attack, we're going to attack every turn for about 4 turns. And hopefully that works out. Okay, they have Blood Rush. Double Blood Rush. Yep. That's all good. Opponent cannot block forever. We have 3. So we can... Is there any way we can double attack this turn? I don't think so. We can banish Existence, and if they take any damage, we can double gate. That's pretty good. And if we crack Quill Hand, they have to have 2 blues and 2 3 blocks. I think that's worth gambling. Because if we win the gamble, we win the game. And if we lose the gamble, we don't lose the game. It's not that big of a deal. Reckless swing. Interesting. Wish our opponent reckless swinged us here. Aha! 2/2 blocks. Cool. So we can't double gate because they didn't take any arcane. But we can DRE and then grab ourselves. I think I want to grab a good rune gate, which means probably whale, since all the disruptive gates aren't going to do anything because they're blocking anyway. We just want to grab whale, and then from them it doesn't really matter because everything gets turned face down. We just want to make sure we get something that's 6 power. It's more likely to mess up their attacks. And then yeah, Succumb to Temptation. If we ever find a shadow card, this turns on. If our opponent ever doesn't find enough blues, this turns on. Okay, Ruin seems better because we just want our opponent to die. We can filter our hand, or we can attack from Banish and clear debt. Let's just clear debt. I guess if we keep this entire hand and draw 1 extra card, next turn we can guarantee attack again, which is something. Yeah, opponent just cannot block forever. There's too many yellows, there's too many 2 blocks, there's too many no blocks. Just a war of attrition. Who runs out of, who stops being able to play the game first, effectively. Yeah, so we are going to filter now. Opponent can technically keep a card on this, but if they swing... oh, this was the turn! This was the turn! If they swing Hexagore, they die. Okay, they can't keep cards on this. Man, that was the turn. That sucks. We find a Shadow Puppetry or a Machinations. We can find a Dirge. It's pretty good. Yup. So we can Dirge and then play Sonata by pitching Delight. Do we have any auras left? Yep. On the case that they have 2 blocks, Ruin is better. But if they take any damage, Whale converts into a second gate. But I think they're just not likely to take any damage at all. I'd really like to draw a Shadow card. The only ones we have in our list right now are Puppetry, which means it's very unlikely. I'd also be very happy with Machinations. This deck does not run enough reactions to get around it. Okay, opponent just blocks. They have 1 card. Hey, we did draw a Puppetry. Okay, so because we have Moon, we can double gate and win the game. The only thing that gets us is Reckless Swing. I feel like opponent is not playing more than 1 Reckless Swing. It's a very greedy plan. Yep. Okay, they don't have it. They see the work. Yeah. Interesting. I've never had a Levia block so much. Normally, a Levia, a really good one, will try and block towards the early game because they want to fill their graveyard, and you know, if the Vynnset's not careful, they'll waste a lot of resources in the first 2 or 3 turns and not get any damage through. But once they get blood there, they normally start attacking. But this one had an interesting plan of Plasma Fedding early and just becoming a fatigue deck. I guess we should be aware of that. Okay, I'm not logged into Talishar for some reason. Yeah, we can play another Huntsman game. Oh, maybe we can't. We're not allowed. That's fine. We'll queue and see who joins us. Okay, Kasai is interesting. We do want to go first, always. We do want Faceberg because she's a warrior. I think... Right, we're taking Scepter of Pain because they play Valiant Dynamos, but we're playing Felling Song because they're not that fatiguing. Tunic because they are a little bit. Play a D-Reacts to try and stop guys from being made. Shadow cards help convert, and then you can only play Mordred because they can't block Arcane that well, or you can play Morphrian to try and punish the guys. I think if we just try not to get hit by the guys, then that's better. Okay. Hand is really good because... So we can pitch one of these into Sonata, I guess. So which one we'd rather have next turn? I guess it's Ruin in case we want to attack. Yep, and then we can grab a Incantation. Interesting hand. Best case scenario is our opponent tries to get us with Bloodflow's Blade. Just a Blade Runner. Okay, they're actually not playing Dynamos. I think this has become a little bit more standard now that they're running AB3 or more than one AB for Cilio. So I kind of want to banish, reduce, play out these two, and gamble on Puppetry and Ruin hitting attack. So like if they take 1 damage, we get 2 looks. I kind of like that plan. We just don't need this reduce. Does mean we're banishing not a Blood Debt card, which is a little sad. Classic Vynnset. This thing goes really, really hard with like any Blood Debt attack, literally any of them. But it's fine. Even a blue would be fine, because we could Scepter of Pain instead. Paying 1 life. Yes, we are paying 1 life. Flail is really good here actually, but they normally play Dynamos. I don't think it's worth not playing Scepter. I think you could argue for Scepter and Flail, but in most games you're just not going to Flail. It's just a good backup plan here. Opponent takes 7. Okay, we do get 2 looks. Yeah, we'll banish that. Then we'll close chain, see if we get anything better, like a whale. We do get a whale. We live in the best possible reality. Okay, so Kasai is telling us that they are not going to fatigue us. This is important to know. I often say watch how your opponent blocks in the early game. This is the strong signal you can receive. Normally it's a little bit more mixed than this. So this hand must be good enough to keep, which means I'm definitely going to try and face it. We don't need the Dirge this turn, and we don't need the second attack this turn. Opponent's only attacking for 4, so facing is pretty wasteful here. They could be making a guy. I think I'll try facing on the second sword, presuming it will be bigger. They might have a small blood in their hands turn. Okay, they were holding some buffs. So now we're worried about Nourishing Emptiness, the Dominate attack. We don't have any Shadow to turn this DRE on, and we don't need the Dirge. Yeah, let's still face them. Funeral Moon's good. They did have a Bloodflow's Blade, but they didn't play it. Huh. Okay, so opponent doesn't value the guy, they value the go again. They didn't want to waste the go again. I guess they were maybe worried about a D-react, because it was a 4 attack. That's interesting. I think it's worth getting Incantation here. We are playing Mordred, but we don't want to draw this. And this turn could be a setup turn, would be Arsenal. Our opponent showed us that they don't like blocking, at least when they have good hands. So let's test that again. Okay, they really don't like blocking. Please banish a card, and then we'll just Arsenal this moon. We have 4 chance next turn. Yeah, we just block out and play another Annihilation. Keep doing that until our opponent decides they need to block, and then maybe we can take a setup turn at that point. We only need to take 1 setup turn probably, because we have a Blood Debt. Okay, so this has the on-hit. Blocking gives it go again, which is a little unfortunate, but they're very likely to be able to give go again anyway. Okay, they have a Blade Flurry. If they get their gold, I can live with it. Opponent banished. Unsheathed that turn? No, I think it was one of the Blade Runners. Oh, this is unsorted. There you go. Run through? Yeah, they can see. They're in a really bad position. They draw all 4 reds as well. Yeah, not a good game for Kasai. We have once again disconnected from Talishar. Oh, a Mario game. We do need to practice these. These are so popular right now. Super popular. We also have a BNR in, hopefully, while we're streaming. It says it's on the 29th, but that could be American 29th or, like New Zealand 29th. But I don't know which LSS typically writes their dates in. Okay, so we can do the fun play here where we take damage and cull the card that they want to put in Arsenal. Does mean that we can't keep this Malefic, so I guess we're blocking with it. They flick. And then hopefully they attack more, but it looks like they're just going to pass. We can cull. We can cull. You know what? I think we will. I think we want this whale in banish, and then we get to draw 2 different cards, which is great. Does give us our opponent a chance to attack, but we'd still have a 3 block. Cool. Ooh, trapdoor, perfect. We are not attacking. Cool. We're going to play this Sonata. We don't really want it, so we'll pitch into it. And also, we want Rune Blood to play Whale next turn, and then we'll just Arsenal Sink. Really good. Probably want to play this DRE out. Arsenaling Dirge is really strong. If we can't Arsenal Dirge, we'll still live though. This is just 5. It could be their only attack this turn. I think we'll give the action card that we can't commit later. Sweet, that's fine. And then they maybe send a Disruptive Stealth card or Second Dagger. Pain in the Backside is kind of 4 damage. Flick. That's interesting. That kind of makes me feel like they have Talishar. Do we want to hold this Sink or put Dirge in Arsenal? I think I want Dirge in Arsenal more than I want Sink there. So I'm willing to block with this, which puts us in a position to use Sink if we get given a good opportunity. This makes us not marked though. Yeah, I think I don't want to be marked as good. Putting Dirge in Arsenal is so good against Mario for when they give you a disease though. Oh, okay. They did have, right, they have 2 resources. A hard call. Hard call for sure. Let's try and get this Dirge into Arsenal, and at the end of the game we'll come back and review this decision and see if we would have preferred Sink. Either way, I think we're definitely blocking this with either Dirge or Sink. So it's still 1 card either way. We're just asking which one we want in Arsenal. Yep. We can also line this Dirge up with Incantation Dying, since we know we will have that in 3 more turns. Yeah, so we can DRE to try and snipe their Clave, although it might just be best to wait till we have Shadow and we can recur like a Cull or something. Because we're Arsenaling Dirge, we can definitely DRE at any point we need to. So, yeah. Mario don't often buy back their dagger anyway. I think sniping both daggers would be good, but like, they are playing retrieve cards, but typically only 3 copies. They've already seen 1. Shelter, interesting. Alright, time for Mario to show us if they like blocking or if they like attacking. They like defending with cards that are good at defending. They like defending in general, perhaps. Hyperinflation. Huh. How interesting. Cards cost 1 more. Okay, sure. Well, they like defending. That's fine. That makes me feel good about not keeping Sink. Dirge is going to help us when we find a Go Again card. Like right now. Okay, so we do want to resolve this Sonata, which means we have to Dirge here, or pitch Succumb. Yeah, I might just pitch Succumb. I think opponent wants a longer game. And then we can Delight, Flail, Cull. And probably get the damage on Flail through. Okay, willing to block. Okay, what are they gonna get? Orb Weaver, how interesting. Oh, because it's random, right. So we'll Flail, see how they respond to the Rune Chant. Yeah, if we Cull here we pay a life, but we gain it back. Because we guarantee that they take damage. Whereas I don't think that they'll take damage if we don't do this. So it is effectively neutral. Plus it wastes their one resource. We are on the board. Yep. How many rune chants do we have? None. So... okay, what do you want to undo? Oh, they can swing their Talishar for free. So we'll take this. We're double gating this turn. We can do this with or without Dirge. Dirging now has the benefit of Incantation and letting us play Annihilation, pitch into Ruin, and then end by paying Felling Song. Downsides, we don't have an arsenal anymore. We don't have Dirge for the future. We can't hold it forever though. Okay, we'll use it while it's efficient. I'm a shelter from the storm. Pitching reds really don't like taking damage. Wow, double? Anti-fatigue tech? Yeah, I don't get the hyperinflation plan. Yeah. So we can end on Grimoire here, but it doesn't actually matter because they won't be attacking us. We have Tunic if we want to pay into it, so we might as well just hold it. I feel like we're taking a setup turn this turn. Yes, we definitely are with this hand. This is nothing. So we can filter with Grimoire by pitching Eulogy. But we might want it for later, considering how defensive they are. So let's just plan to filter it like this. Ooh, okay, that's very good, very good. Okay, cut from the same cloth. Talishar? We haven't got... we aren't marked. Okay. We want to stay unmarked for as long as possible. Fine with holding this sync if they don't present anything good. But we definitely want this reduced so we can play out our whale. Okay, so opponent forces it with leave, that's fine. Not great, but it's fine. We're definitely not filtering these cards, these are good cards. So what have we got? DRE. So we can double gate in lots of ways. We can go Whale, Tunic, Felling Song, Ruin, and then have 2 rune chains at the end. We can go Whale, Close Chain, Ruin. We can go Whale, Close Chain, Felling Song, DRE. Collect. By that point, they won't have any cards left. No matter what, we're starting with Whale. Collecting information with our Whale attack. Okay, opponent doesn't have a blue or anything in this hand, by the look of it. Opponent might have a really good hand. Or maybe they have a lot of D-reacts. We're finally marked. Okay. Ah, that's pretty good. That's better. Let's do that. That's better. And then next turn we still have the option of DRE or Ruin. And then hopefully we can face on our opponent's turn. If we draw like a Funeral Moon or something, probably we'll send DRE and kind of hope to get them. What is with the hyperinflations? I do not understand. They could have just a Nick. But I think that's worth risking. I mean, they could have basically any reaction gets us here, but yeah. Not a big deal if they hit it. Whale, Beseech. So we can DRE here. But once again, our opponent's still blocking, so I'm pretty happy continuing to Whale. It does mean we get to, once again, keep our Felling Song. We still have all of our armor. Could have double gated. If they took damage, I guess. Yeah, they just want to block. Arsenal Funeral Moon here, because it pairs well with DRE, which we will eventually play. I know I keep talking about it and not playing it. I'm just holding it for the time when it's right. Yep. Give us nice reduce value. Okay, this hand... oh, sure. This hand double gates... Eulogy? So we're going DRE into Eulogy. Then we can definitely... play this Funeral Moon. So we can either get an action point with Eulogy, or we can get a card with DRE, but we can't get both. And I think it's usually best to get a card. But we'll see what our opponent does. Because all we do with the action point is most likely swing Flail. There's an argument to be made that if they take a lot of damage, we can go action point, Felling Song as well, and then Ruin for 8 more damage. We could even make it 10 with Quill Hand. So our opponent could actually be sneaky dead this turn, depending on what's in their hand. But I do think the most likely scenario is we DRE a Whale back. Yep, that's fine. We could even do it here. We We can do the DRE, so we can do a whale now or next turn. Oh, okay, no, I think I figured out what I want to do. I want to pay life here and play Ruin. Cool, cool. So now we get one card off the top, one card from our graveyard. We also get to take their one Leave No Witnesses. I'm thinking really hard about AB1, take the rest. Is our opponent dead to the Eulogy line? So they take 4 because they AB. So no, because they give armor. Peak gameplay, by the way. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Moise. Wish our opponent would make up their mind. So I'm going to teach you how to beat Mario. I think our opponent has rage quit or otherwise left their computer. So we'll give them another minute and then we'll either click the button or we'll just concede ourselves if it takes too long. It takes forever, doesn't do anything, we're just gonna leave. Goodbye, we win. Next hand is pretty bad, but I think we've got this. Yeah. All Majestic deck. I mean, can we complain? How many Majestics do we have? What's our ratio? 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. 35 of 80? That's less than half. Kind of, not really, because we're only talking about deck cards. And then I guess this is Majestic as well, that's 36, 37, 38, ooh. Might be calling the kettle black over here. What do we want to play against? I think none of these heroes. We're looking for meta heroes. Looking for meta heroes. Ow. My arms. $45 less than the assassin. Let's have a look. Arachne hasn't won anything in ages. Remind me to take a look after. Ooh, Vynnset Mirror. We win the dice roll, which is a really good way to start. I like Crown more than Face here because they don't often have cards in hand to bother facing. Oblivion's pretty good, but I just think I want blue block 3 instead to help. You know, we need something that goes along with Morve. Then we can play Succumb or Destruction. Succumb's definitely really good. Maybe we can play 1 Destruction instead of 1 Looming Doom. Cull's pretty nice. Definitely arsenaling Dirge. Yeah, let's finish the Cull. Gives us the ability to AB with this blue if our opponent does attack on turn 1. They have Grasp, so they might go like 2-cost pitch play, or maybe their hand has Dirge in it or something. Okay, they do have a Dirge. Do they bother attacking with it? Because if they do, it will just block out. Oh, they're playing Jack-O-Lantern. Does this mean they're red line? Maybe. Wow, that's a really good hand. They smartly pay life on the second shadow, not the first one, otherwise we could cull them. Opponent knows their stuff. So we can't prevent that one. We definitely want to be blocking out puppetry, but also they're going to flail. Why is this unpreventable? How did our opponent get 2 unpreventable damage? What? What? Talishar bug. There's no card here that I've never read before that does this, right? So... So they're almost certainly flailing. We really don't want this puppetry to hit. It's important. I would give creepers here early, but I just have the space to be blocking right now. So I think I'd rather block while I can justify it. And they do flail. Yeah. Let's be the annoying one for a bit. Then I think I'm just going to cull them. I guess it lets them maybe double gate though. Let's just cull them. Okay, do banish a rune gate. Do they banish a second rune gate? This stand's pretty good. You can definitely like block with whale, send the rest. Okay. Reduce is not getting any value. I guess they could arsenal it. I would recommend not playing the reacts in the Vynnset mirror. They too often do nothing. I wonder if opponent senses that we're going to block out and decides to not. They don't. The only worrying thing here is Succumb. So I guess we can play this hand like this instead to insulate ourselves from Succumb. Although I probably would have preferred to send Annihilation if I had the choice. Yeah, we can even Creepers the Malefic if our opponent banishes the right card off the top. That's not bad. So we can actually Creepers the Dirge. Yeah, let's do that. That seems like a good way to get on top of this game. Flip the life totals over and just kind of get ahead. Opponent's taking damage. We haven't seen a single not red card from them. Finally able to catch a stream. Fan of Vynnset forever, scared of being kind of difficult. Videos helps a lot. Thank you so much for your nice comment, Alessandro. I love putting in all this effort to these videos because the hero is really cool, you're right. And the heroes are also really difficult, so it's a perfect combination for me. Because I just never want to be stagnant in Flesh and Blood, right? When I get to feeling really confident in something, I kind of feel bored. I like how Talishar cards wiggle now. Like, it's just kind of like a fidget you can do while your opponent's thinking. Cool. Opponent takes even more damage, that's fine. They are playing at least strong blue cards. So they're not like a literally completely red line deck. They might just be a bit heavier weighted towards red. Alright, we get some big damage. Opponent looks like they're still going to convert their hand into us, which is totally fine. Maybe we can use our creepers one more time this game, depending on what our next hand looks like. Just need to accept or lose for some time while becoming confident with the hero. Yeah, that is true in Flesh and Blood in general. I don't know how long you've been playing the game, but your first few armories, you generally won't win, like, at all. Against any player, and then become a Vynnset man. You can start on Vynnset. You can. It's not going to teach you fantastic fab fundamentals. So if you're like interested in other more standard heroes, or more importantly draft, playing Vynnset kind of makes you worse at those things. Because it doesn't teach you how to manage pitch curves, how to like get over fatigue without just aggressively setting up, because most people can't do that. Opponent sends Annihilation at us, which allows us to double gate if we are willing to crack Quill Hand. Which I think what I'm going to do instead is crown the DRE and see if we can get a better Rune Gate or Binstant, and any other non-attack that we get, like, we can banish one of them. Let's see. Yeah, so that's better than Machination. So we're just going to play Beseech, Malefic, and then well. Oh, right. Opponent gets to decide what we play. Okay, so they're almost certainly taking Whale from us. Flexibility of the deck really hard. Yeah, it is really flexible, you're right. I remember when BIOS Update, who's another YouTuber you should follow for good fab fundamentals, put out a video about deck types, like, and tempo and stuff. It was really interesting to look at, like, there was 6 deck types in, like, a graph like this. And Vynnset really fit 5 of them. Like, you can be a setup deck, you can be a multiplicative damage deck where, you know, cards are worth more in tandem. You can be a linear deck, turn to turn. You can be... what were the other ones? Linear, multiplicative... oh, tempo... fatigue was the one we couldn't be. Yep, so we're just going to play Malefic, Arsenal, Beseech. Oh, right, we have to banish one of these. We're going to banish Beseech, us, and play Malefic. Okay, figured it out. Can't remember. I remember making a part for that video, though. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts about how Vynnset how flexible Vynnset is as a deck, you can check out that video on BIOS Updates channel. Okay, hand does nothing. Opponent's hand potentially does nothing. Okay, definitely does something. Yeah, so we're in a position where we can't do anything if they attack us. And it's kind of too late to set up. Like, it doesn't really make any sense to set up here. We already have a lot of good setup. So I think we're just going to block really inefficiently. Should we look into it? Yeah, BIOS Update, like I say, great channel. Definitely go check them out. So what's the most efficient way to block this? I guess either way we can block like 5, 6, and take 1, or we can block 5 and take 1. So we might as well pitch because it puts it back in the deck. If we're looking for a card at the bottom of our deck, we're probably looking for a Dirge, not a Puppetry. Block out. Opponent did get to set Incantation and also has a Rune Chant, so they're pretty much able to play whatever they want next turn. Yep, we're just going to pass. Okay, we got a good hand. Keeping Succumb would be super good at getting us back into the game. Our opponent is likely to try and kill us, even if we send damage at them. So if we like block 6, send a nice 2-card hand, I feel good about that. If opponent, well, they can't play this DRE. If opponent sets up, I guess we just kind of do everything. They're going to pitch like 1,000,000 resources to grasp, 5 resources. Go on, opponent, pitch 5 resources. Activate Tunic first, good idea. Yeah, because opponent's got like a pretty big lead on us with all their armor and 8 life, and they're going to attack us this turn. If we're lucky, they might give us a Rune Gate with this DRE. Okay. So, we're going to skip the Rune Chants. I am worried about Succumb once again, so I'm going to block the 6. I like blocking with Succumb and then playing a Succumb in the same turn, because this signals to the opponent that we don't have it, right? Which is awesome. They also pitched to Succumb. They could be in the exact same situation as us, although it's pretty unlikely, which is why it's such a fun play. We also present 4 Arcane, which is cool. Breakpoint. Not sure if our opponent is playing a Malefic Incantation. We haven't seen one yet. Surely they are. Maybe not the yellows. Or maybe they're not playing Sonata Galaxia. Either way, they're definitely lighter on aura cards than my deck is, which should give us an edge in the long game. Hopefully Quill Hand does as well, kind of breaking us out of that end game rut. how much our opponent fears Succumb to Temptation. Enough to put out a bunch of their armor on one card. Enough to block poorly. Ah, they baited us. Okay. I can live with that. Opponent banished off the top. Not going to flail here because we just want rune chance for next turn. Giving them a Eulogy is probably not good. Wow. This is a pretty good hand as long as we get to keep some of it. We can play around Succumb this hand, so we probably should. We don't need literally every Malefic. This is one of the things that makes Tunic so good in the matchup. Like, obviously, this is a matchup where Creepers is really good, because basically the Vynnset mirror is like who does unfair things, who hits a disruption, who finds more auras. These are the things that matter. And your Creepers help you do the unfair things. But also, it prevents arcane damage. Every 3 turns, you just kind of like gain a life of arcane value. Opponent has seen 2 Succumb, because they pitched 1. Unfortunately here, we will be cracking Quell Hand. But we're too low on life to be able to, like, truly have a choice. We won't be paying life. We may swing Flail. We could also hit something off the top with Puppetry, which would be sweet. Although unlikely. I think they're just going to block, right? I could even see them blocking face this turn. Although it depends on their hand texture more than what we're sending. Yeah, so many Malefics. There's a really good argument for just not second attacking here, even if we do hit like a gate off the top. Because we won't be able to rune gate next turn. If we do that. But equally important, if our opponent keeps 4 cards, because they banish 1 and keep 4 more, we could just die. Okay, opponent looks to be blocking out the on-hit 1 armor, 1 card. Okay, this is face, surely. Maybe not. They're thinking about facing, I would presume. Or they could be going 3 block grasp. They are facing, they're playing Painful Passage, that's interesting. Yeah, we're not going to follow up this. Their Grasp blocks Flail too easily, and we definitely want Rune Chance next turn. You can play a nice 1-card hand. If our opponent runs out of this incantation, we might be able to grind them out. Oh, they managed to cull, that's not good. Okay. This is an excellent 2-card hand. It's also a pretty good 1-card hand. We can give them like a mediocre 4-cost that they probably can't get out of their Banish Zone. Unless they draw a Dirge, which they only have none of, so... Interesting and suspicious. Okay, so I think we just block out Cull, right? Put that a little too high. Come back down here. I think we just block out Cull. They maybe are going for a Creeper's play this turn. But we just want to make sure that if their plan is to Cull, especially if they want Eloquent Eulogy to make an Eloquence token, that they can't. Since might put our opponent in a position where they take 2 damage, IP a card. Like, it's not a good turn when that happens. They are going to Creepers, but are they going to Creepers a Cull or a real card? If they Creepers Cull, that's pretty good. Succumb to Temptation. So they follow up with Flail. Which we will definitely block. They can Grasp. That's sweet. So they lose their Eloquence. They get to Eulogy. Okay. I see. Okay, so we can AB this because we have 1 floating. If we block, they can't Cull. And then they maybe can't do anything next turn, because they haven't got any Dirges. Grasp can get them a 2nd Rune Chant, but it can never get them a 3rd or 4th. Doesn't look like they're playing Malefic at all. Either that or they're really unlucky in drawing them. Yeah, I think I'm happy to be the Fatigue deck here for a second. We have the consistency, they don't have the consistency. Once they run out, we'll play the game. If they don't run out, we'll lose. Hopefully they do. If we never take damage again, this Cull kills them in 16 more turns. Well, that's not a good hand. Hey, Captain. Always late. It's not a bad thing, but you're right. Doing the Vynnset mirror. It's not going great, especially since we just draw a hand that does absolutely nothing on the turn that they potentially do very little. They might play a Rune Gate from hand. Delight. Okay, they're just going to activate Grasp. Yeah, so we just do the thing where we continue to block out. Opponent's running Haunting Rendition and... Oh, they have a Puppetry. That sucks. Pay life. Yeah, they do. Yeah. That sucks. So I think #1 priority is making sure we can block the Flail. So we need to leave 2 cards in hand if in case they Cull. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the mirror. I think the Vynnset mirror is like close to being fun, but because it comes down so much to variant, it's so not. Like, that is a really good hit. Really comes down to like who draws better hands, right? I guess that's every mirror. I wonder if they Cull this final card while they can, or if they're going to hold it. Definitely playing the Funeral Moon, that makes sense. Yeah, they're going to play that Cull. Checks out. Doesn't really matter to us either way. This Cull just stops us from making 1 more Rune Chant. Importantly for our opponent, they can get to 3 Rune Chants next turn, and they don't have any Blood Debt either. They're also 10 life up. Hand blocks decently. Can block 3 arcane and 6 physical, which is holy moly. Opponent is really good at drawing their conversion cards. Yep. Yep. If they have follow-up gate, we just kind of lose the game. We really want to stop puppetry. What can they hit? Yeah, they've only seen 1 Cull, 1 Moon. I think our only chance is just to block until our opponent fails, right? So just block puppetry. Hope they fail. Opponent is really good at not doing that right now. Yeah, this is lethal. Sad mirror. Oh, right. Take 2, not take 2, not block 2. Alright, opponent. Can you draw a non-attack hand? Because I've drawn 2 this game. I think I drew 2 this game. They're playing 2 Requiem of the Damned. That's pretty rare. Passage. Banish a gate. I got paying life. If they can pay for grasp, they can then flail and pay again and we die. I wonder if opponent knows that. So if they attack, they have guaranteed lethal. Oh, no, because they make a second rune champ. So, okay. At least this hand blocks, but it's probably way too late. I would like to gain a life. But opponent just gets to close chain, play Requiem, at minimum swing with flail, so we don't get to keep our delight. If they have a yellow, we die to grasp. Seems like they probably do. Yeah, sure. I am not fond of the mirror. How are we going? Alright, start looking to draft for after this game potentially. Yellow Mario game is so popular right now. Is everyone playing Mario? Opponent thinking extremely hard about who gets here first. Nope, they're leaving. Okay, that's fine. Didn't really want to play against Mario for the 18th time. Oh, that's me. It's so weird that happens. Alright, let's see if we can get a non-Mario, non-Mirror. That's my chair up. Hey, that's the same guy. Do you want to play this time, opponent? Or are you going to leave? Alright, we're going back to the Mario thing, right? So, random Mario deck, latest Mario deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, hey Ash. So against Hala, we want more anti-fatigue cards, and definitely not Succumb. Like this. 14? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. That's about the same amount as us. No stream sniping, Ash. This is one of my locals. Okay, really good start. We set up a Malefic. We can guarantee Whale next turn if we want to. We brought the wrong hands in because we were still Mario prepped. Which sucks a little bit. We'll get over it. Hand does absolutely nothing. Sets up decently. We're definitely going to sink one of these cards, which is probably Beseech. Okay, decent Hala turn. Okay. His hand triple gates next turn. And is a very good double gate this turn. But I think I'd rather wait. Let's wait. Oh, genius. Glad we waited. Yeah, so this hand, like, strips their entire turn and then also summons a demon. Worst case, we get hit with CNC. And then we can only do 2 attacks. Brimming Blade. That's interesting. I feel like you would play that if you could. Provoke. Okay, we're fine with Provoke. As long as it's not also paired with a CNC. That would be brutal. Holy moly, he's got it all. So I think that means, unfortunately, we have to take another setup turn. Hey, Fossil! Yeah, we're getting massively screwed over by this Hala. Okay, we get another really strong hand. This hand's really resilient to CNC because we can summon Nazareth in response. We will play this sink below if given the chance, but we won't sink anything because we don't really have any point. That's a lot of damage. But next turn we start playing the game. Hala stops attacking us for a while, and we'll see how that goes. It looks as if our Hala opponent has forgotten to bring Arcane Barrier into us. We both made a sideboarding mistake. So we probably should have been more aggressive. So, what was H? Yeah, we definitely should have been more aggressive because our opponent can't stop our stuff. Actually, it can't be... Oh, we have Funeral Moon to make a third rune chant. So... that is better. Yeah, okay. I guess Ripple punishes us somewhat. See how much our opponent blocks. Now that they know they don't have AB, it might be worth them just banishing a card and trying to kill us. We can consider playing out DRE to grab Cull to take a second card if that's the case. Although I think I'd rather just lean on face purging next turn. Nazareth summoned live! Okay, so we present what? 9, 15 more damage? They're going into the single digits. I guess they have all this armor. Next turn, if we draw even a Vynnset, we can double gate with DRE, presuming we can make an action point, like if we draw another attack. But I really would like to draw an attack action to pair with Face Purg. Opponent might also just be tempted to kill Nazareth, which alleviates a lot of the damage that comes to us. Deck is so strong when it works. Yeah, I think so too. I think that's what my list is maximizing, the strength when the deck functions. It maybe is a little bit weaker from behind, but that's how I like it. Yeah, that's right, Fossil. It's weak when it doesn't work. Banish Ole. Okay. So, where's the opponent going to send this? Face. Unfortunately, if we're going to be facing, we're not going to be using an action, using machinations. I think it might actually be worth it to block like this. By blocking out, we take 1 power away that would come out of a courage token. And then we block like this. And then we get to steal between Naz. Opponent disrespects Naz. What were they going to do? Send 10 damage into it when I'm on 10? I feel like disrespecting Naz might be the right call here. Yeah, we're just going to play a little, you know, little 16 damage turn or whatever. This is 15 damage turn. We're in a position where we get 2-4 rune chants next turn for DRE. Hopefully we can draw a hand that can face and make an action point. Damage go brrr. There may have been an argument there for blocking with face no trigger instead of creepers and tunic. But at this point, we can get creepers around pretty easily with no AB, but we're probably never going to activate it again. We're under too much pressure. This hand can face. We don't need a gate in hand. I can banish literally anything, so that's fine. Face? Face. Cool, so this is definitely a face block. Mordred does kind of little here. Takes a hard at front pumps. Yeah, not very reaction based. So we can play Mordred and crack Quill hand, and we get like 1, 2, 3-ish value. Let's do it like that, because we don't need consistency at this point. And we do want maybe the 3 block for chain link 2. Face. Yes. Yeah, they don't have any AB, so we just win, right? Yeah, the no AB was a mistake on their end. This game would normally be ending in their favor, right? Because they would have turtled up before, or they would have blocked more efficiently. They could have Sigil of Solace, so we might as well go all out. Let's maybe do a rematch though. Let's rematch and actually sideboard correctly. So I think this is the correct sideboard for Hala. She's a little bit fatigue oriented, but I don't think she's so much that you'd want Grimoire. I mean, of the Haunt. I guess they're both Grimoire. And then the cards we brought were good. We're definitely bringing the same cards. Hala gets to choose. They choose to go first. Makes a lot of sense. Would have been an excellent turn to go first. As it stands, I would really like to be keeping Sonata. And Puppetry, which looks like we might get to. Shuck. Okay. Decent first turn for the Hala. This Mordred Tide is not here at a good time. I think I'm going to pitch it away. How does Lumen Doom feel into Gravy? Lumen Doom feels great into Gravy, but it is not the core game. It's not the core way you win the game. So the way you win into Gravy is by killing them, right? If you don't kill them, you don't actually win the game. Lumen Doom can help with that because it does 2 Arcane in a bunch together, so what AB1 that they play won't help. It can also clear allies so you can focus your damage at face. But the thing that it does best, well, I guess there's 2 really important things about it. Number 1 is it takes 1 sideboard slot, because it just pairs with Sonata. Number 2, it pairs with a anti-fatigue game plan. So, if the opponent is, you know, if you're setting up to kill your opponent like they're a fatigue deck, which is how I play into Gravy, then you get rewarded for playing out the Doom in one of those big anti-fatigue turns. Whereas if you play something like Invert, you don't get rewarded for playing those in the anti-fatigue sense. they're kind of two separate strategies. That's why I like Looming Doom, because it feels like it's tags along to the game plan that is kill them, instead of kind of diverting from the game plan that is kill them, and then it takes one sideboard slot. We are ready to triple gate next turn. We can face Purg with these two. This hand worries me about... Surely this is the CNC hand, right? Otherwise they would just play this. Victor Fatigue or Guardians in general? Yeah, so... I haven't tested Looming Doom into anything other than Gravy. I think it could be good into Hyper Fatigue lists, but I haven't tested it, and I won't be testing it until after Nats. Okay, so we don't need these. And then we can just send a double gate, or we can set up one more turn. I think I'm greedy. I think I want to set up one more turn. Because I really want to be triple gating Hulla. And they don't have very much disruption, so... They've seen one CNC, we're going to worry about provoke. Other than that, it's just damage. Let's be greedy. Okay, so we don't want this incantation. So this is our, like, just in CNC. I was going to say, this is our provoke insurance. Okay, so we can actually face this in order to still only use one card from hand. And then we get to play Mordred, which is super good. If they have Ripple in hand, we also get rid of it. I feel like that might be unlikely, but let's do it this way. I think this way is good. Best thing we can draw is a Rune Gate, but anything is fine. That's fine. Okay, it's just a shelter. Yeah, I think we're ready to go. So I think we're just going to double gate and save creepers here. Because we're not guaranteed to hit off puppetry, and we don't have a weapon to follow up if we don't. And then we're just going to hold this cull over the Hulla's head until they get down to one card, and then we'll cull it away. As long as it's not in reactions. Sure. I guess we might do it when they have two cards left, because they could have like a Total Line or something. We'll see. I would like this puppetry to hit. It's coming in for 10. So culling before the attack goes to blocks is probably what I'll do. Forces them to use a bunch of armor. It seems that the unpreventable bug that we experienced before is coming back. So all of this damage is unpreventable to Ashwin. That sucks. We can use manual mode to fix this. don't know where to find it anymore. Yeah, where's manual mode, Captain? Game state correction. No. Okay, let's... I'll pitch and then go manually add life. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure where manual mode is anymore. It used to be in a particular spot and it doesn't look like it's there anymore. We're getting close to finishing a draft queue, so we probably won't play any more games after this. Yeah, so opponent is going to add that life back. Oh, we forgot to cull, because we were so distracted. Okay. So like 1, 2, so 7, so they can block with all their armor to stop this, or they have a direct and arsenal, it looks like. Makes sense. Can you imagine how strong Vynnset would be if it said, pay 1 life, all rune chants are unpreventable this turn? Genuine insanity of a hero. So, Hala should be gaining 6. Going back to 31. Trying to figure out how. Yeah. Okay, I'll have a look. Manual. Caster mode. Swarming plus Razor Reflex. If anyone knows where the manual stuff is, where you can change life totals, that would be awesome. Is it somewhere up here? No. 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 Yeah, for sure. Alright, let's do our due diligence and make a bug report. Double clicking on life. Clicking on life does nothing. Clicking on life any amount of times does nothing. Alright, where do the bug reports go? Here. gear icon at the bottom of this. This gear icon is part of my browser. It is not part of Talishar. So that's not going to help us. I believe so. This is just Firefox, yeah. Okay, manual mode might not exist anymore. Good thing we didn't commit creepers. So we'll just set to the filter a little bit. And then Arsenal sync below and filter more. Okay, draft is about to fire. So I'm just going to leave this game because it's all sorts of whacked up. So hopefully that gets fixed. That was not doing that yesterday, as far as I know. Thank you for playing with me. Let's do a draft. Alright, so for people who haven't watched all the streams, draft record. First stream, draft Ziggy. It goes extremely bad. Ziggy's open and like 4 people pivot into him, it feels like, and then we end up with like 3. It's bad. I don't think we win a single game. Draft 2, a pretty good Ziggy deck. And we win maybe 1 game. But yeah, a good Ziggy deck that we don't do good enough with. Draft 3, so that was yesterday. Extremely good Aurora deck list with 4 Majestics in it. Win 1, lose 1. So like, I don't know what's going on. I can't win draft games. Someone has pinged me. Okay, so that's where manual mode is. I looked at that menu so many times, but I guess I missed it. Where is our 8th person? So yeah, conclusion on the whole Mario thing. Vynnset has roughly the same number of Majestics. Equally confused. By the way, this Katsu deck is sick. This is the deck that won or top 8'd, I think it top 5'd New Zealand Nationals. And it's good. It's Master Momentum list, which is kind of abnormal for Katsu right now, as far as I understand. They're mostly on links. But this is running 6 copies of like +1 reactions and the whole Shuriken package, including Swift Pickup. This is the same list. I just made a sideboard for it because it was easier to break it up and then play games on Talishar rather than doing it every time in Talishar. But yeah, it's good to have 9 copies of +1s. It makes blocking a nightmare for your opponent. And then it's just like pretty classic Katsu numbers, good attacks, cool combos. Pretty fun. Yeah, New Zealand 5th. So that's like, what, semis? I guess they lost in top 8. What does that actually mean? I don't remember. Also, keeping an eye on this BNR. If anyone sees the BNR go out, let me know. I feel like it probably won't today. I feel like it must be in American time We might be requeuing. I think we're requeuing. Yeah, we are requeuing. Okay. What can we look into? Any questions? Anyone got an idea? Can talk about the list. I've been thinking about 3rd blue whale, right? Because, like, having 9 blue whales is nice. 5th is losing quarter. Okay. Thank you for clarifying. I know Captain hates blue whale, but it is, like, kind of good. It's 5, which puts it behind every other gate except maybe Eulogy. If it's on a Shadow turn, it's 6. If it's on a Mordred turn, it's 7. Yeah, no, I think there's a reason I'm only running 2, and I just reconvinced myself of it. So many cards I'd love to have space for. Like, 3rd Morphs, guys, would feel so good into Gravy. Acilio. Feels so good in general. But there's just no space for it. I think we'd have to start cutting some of our, like, split equipment. So we'd probably have to start cutting stuff like one of the hand slots, which probably means Scepter of Pain. Or hate it. Pain with Mordred. Yeah. It's a pretty sucky gate, that's true. Honestly, I used to not play Felling Song for a while. I could see going back to not playing Felling Song. It's only helpful in matchups that are good anyway, is what I find. It's only really good into, like, aggro. Scepter should go. Scepter should not go. Scepter's amazing. I think Scepter gets you a lot of points into way more decks than a 3rd Morph would. And honestly, I think it's more important to the matchups that I play it in than Felling Song is important to the matchups I play it in. You can argue that Felling Song is a stronger card, but I kind of just feel like it isn't. The Felling Song hype isn't convincing to me. I could also see cutting, like... See, I don't want to cut any of my aggro package, the Disruption and the D-Reacts, because I really don't want to lose into aggro decks. Like, if I roll Gemluck into good matchups, I want to win the good matchups. What do you mean Lumidoom into? Oh, well, we've already talked about Lumidoom. It's a gravy tech. So you can play it, and it will ping and kill allies if you need it to. More importantly, it does 2 Arcane in a burst, so you can get around Gravy's AB1 and chip them down, keep creepers, stuff like that. You can grab it off Sonata. You can grab it off Sonata using creepers, so you get the Rune Chant damage and the Looming Doom counters if you creepers it in on Chain Link 2. There are lots of good ways to play it, and by adding just 1, because of Sonata, you kind of get 4 copies in the deck. It's good gravy tech. It could be good in other places. Okay, so we're down to 5 out of 8 in the queue, so we can probably just play another game while we wait. Unfortunately, everyone decided to up and leave the second one draft failed to run. Yeah, so the BNR says it will be released what is, for me, today. And this is the end of today. So it has to be American time. Reinhardt, interesting. Into Reinhardt, I have in the past played Flail and Scepter. It's good if they go for fatigue or like block out a bit more, you have the Scepter, but Felling Song is useful for converting random cards that they intimidate, which is why I'm going to run it. I think Tunic is better because Creepers is useful, and then Crown is better because Facing is very inconsistent. Never mind. Took too long to decide. New Zealand time, but the New Zealand time is effectively Australia time. It's slightly earlier than us, like by an hour or two. So it would be like 11 PM in New Zealand. So it should be out by now if that's the case. Always very funky. Okay, we get a Syndra matchup. So we play our aggro stuff. Crown over face because face is wasteful into Syndra. And then like I said, we want to win the good matchups. So we just play all of this stuff. This draft isn't firing, actually, it turns out. It's going away. Okay, standard Syndra, no AB, Cloven Zerakai. Okay, no starter is good for us. Use the 2 blocks early. Puppetry not nearly as important in these aggro matchups. I had to buy Crown so hard. Yeah, it's a really good piece for the deck. It's probably not too bad right now because of the reprint, but equally so, it's always seeing lots of play. I think I'd like to hold Succumb if possible. So I will try. Opponent gets to mark us, as well as get a second chain link for mask, so we definitely need to make sure we don't get hit again. So that means we don't get to keep Succumb, which is fine. Opponent can hit us for like 3 or 4 or whatever. They can't buy back daggers. Interesting. Okay. This is a totally fine hand to crack Vexing on turn 1. It's not where I want to be, but into a deck that has no AB, I will be fine. We can get our consistency elsewhere. We don't need Vexing. We'll probably... yeah, we'll pay life for this Finraman. Quick game's a good game. Make a lot of rune chance. There's just unpreventable damage for them in total. Arsenal Reduce is great, and we can play around stopping their mask next turn. We don't draw a great attack here. Okay, so we let Chainlink 1 hit. And the 3 Roonies, 4 with Reduce, exactly. 5. By the end of 5 by next turn, and then heaps if we Reduce. So I'm pretty tempted to Crown here. Like this. But I'd be filtering Eulogy. Maybe it's this, and filter Puppetry? Quick game's a good game. Okay, we just draw a bunch of Reduce. That's fine. So we can get Rune Blood Incantation. Yeah. Sonata. No, I want Sonata because I want that consistency, especially since we cracked our Vexing. Puppetry's not that good in the matchup. And yeah, since we have a Reduce in Arsenal, we're just incentivized to block with all of our Reduces in hand. Really wish we had a better Rune Gate than Eulogy, but we'll live. Get a lot of Arcane in. Now we have 3 turns of consistency. There's an argument for getting a Malefic here because it pairs well with Reduce, but I think we're pretty likely to use this Reduce on this coming turn. In which case we can play knowing that there's no reducers in the list anymore, which is nice because we don't have to think about ending with rune chance every single turn if we don't have a good way to do that. Yeah, ahead and behind on life doesn't really matter strongly. Yeah, DRE is pretty good if we can snipe one of those daggers, but... Okay, so because they're actually attacking with a dagger, it is pretty likely that we can snipe it. So we can block this because they can't flick this chain link. Oh, but they can flick, yeah. We can still banish the Draco Fire, so the DRE still has relevant text. So we can let this hit, then they go flick, and then their third card draws. Probably should have let that first chain link hit. Yeah, I think we should have let their first chain link hit. So we go 1, 2 rune chance, and then 3 if we play this reduce this turn. Yeah. So let's let this one hit, right? You never want to be blocking the middle chain link. They get marked, they get fealty, they already have heaps of fealty, it doesn't matter. Alright, let's just block with the reduce, because we want these cards. I'd love to put Dirge in Arsenal, I'd love to put Malefic on the board. Okay, so... Opponent does not leave daggers in their bin, which makes a lot of sense. DRE effectively gets them to not... Claw Vynnset. This is brutal. So this is, they can hit us for 4 and then hit us for 4 more. Or we can give them 2 really strong cards. Or like one of these and the rest of our armor. Or we could give the attack and not have a turn. I think I want this Dirge in Arsenal more than I want a yellow Malefic. And by blocking out, I turn 4 block into 8 block this turn. If opponent makes a mistake of Vynnset clawing, then we will banish it. If they do not, we will just grab their Draco Fire. They do make that mistake. Opponent just lost their Valiant Dynamos for nothing. I guess for one prevention. Oh, we got a draft. When this draft gets to 8, I will be quitting the Syndra game. Right now the draft is more important to me than playing out a well-understood matchup. Goodbye, Claw. A well-understood matchup in which we are winning. Yeah, once again we're going to try and stop the mask trigger, which means blocking the 3rd and 4th chain link generally. Okay, so they have to flick on this link, so we can safely block the 3rd chain link. Game's kind of already won, yeah. Kinda. Take the tempo. What a card. This Sonata collects a red Malefic, therefore it's better than yellow Malefic. We have to re-queue again. Oh no, we got 8. Back one, pick one in 3 seconds. Lace Lightning. Yeah, that was our first pick, cool. Quick switch up. So, there's 3 really good Aurora cards in this pack. Well, like, pretty good. There's 2 really good, Cilio cards in this pack. So, if we pick an Acilio card, we send a really strong signal, we send someone else into a good Aurora deck, and we get a good Acilio deck. I think I'm happy with that. We keep receiving good Acilio signal. Probably... Is a red spell better than Suture? I think so? I thought Suture was good, but the more I played it, the more I didn't like it. Let's keep picking the commons, send good signal. Decent instant is good. We have a decent red. Looks like Ziggy's being picked up pretty heavily. We also have Nebula Duality Blue, which is very, very good, but take a red spell while we can get them. Wizard seems pretty open, so does Aurora. There's still a pretty decent Aurora rare. There's 2 pretty decent Aurora commons. Ow. Two, three, 4. We're versing Shredniv. So if I forget, you'll let me know. Good red spell, good instant card, duality is fine. So, we just want a good instant card more than we want a red spell. I think it's only a decent red spell. Chromatic Refinement is extremely good to pair with our the Meteor card, whatever it's called. And these cards are not very good, so let's grab this. Ow. Aurora is also extremely open to our left. Suture Red is great. Core Reaction Blue is pretty good as well. But Suture is better, right? It's because like a 2-card 6 is as long as you Acilio it. Blue spell or yellow spell? Yellow spell. Oh, with a Suture... Oh, we didn't pick the Suture, did we? Oh, we did. Do kind of want some blues. Ooh, Flowtide came all the way back around, so did Flashbolt, but I think Flowtide is better than blue Flashbolt. Probably take yellow Flashbolt over it. Suture is awesome, you think so? The waves came all the way back around, that's exciting. Cilio is extremely open. For some reason, everyone in this pod's on Ziggy. Decent blue spell. mediocre blue spell. And card we can't play. So as far as instants go, we have a pretty decent collection. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 instants that don't block. The Acilio cards in this pack suck. I'm pretty tempted to take Visionary Orbitus. This card's way good. Riftbreaker also really good. Putting instants on the bottom matters for anti-fatigue. So good because it always has at least one mirror. Yeah, Suture's definitely important in the mirror. Look, Visionary Orbitus is literally only 3 for 7 in this entire format. Like, the only true 3 for 7. So, I think I'm going to take that as kind of an anti-fatigue plan. Okay, Red Spell is good. Calm Veil is really good. We don't have a chest yet. Cosmic Flare is a pretty decent card. So I think we take Red Spell because we're not going to get infinite Red Spells, and then there's like 4 cards in this pack that we're okay wheeling. Constellar Waves. We've got a Constellar Waves. Contemplation is decent. I feel like the Ponder goes to waste very often. Nebula Duality is pretty good as well. That might be better. I do like Cosmic Flare. But I feel like we're gonna maybe wheel one. Another Constellar Waves. Okay, Uplift is pretty good. Red Retort is worth noting. Don't want to see that, but we're not going to pick it. Haven Veil, good Mirror Tech. Calm Veil, good in general, which makes it probably better than Haven Veil. Or decent Red Spell. I think I'm happy here to take the Calm Veil. I feel like we might actually be able to start wheeling, like aggressively wheeling some Acilio cards. Surely someone picks it up though. But we might get one of these, and if not, we're definitely getting one of these yellow mediocre wizard cards. I'd also be happy with blue Flittering Spike. Do not hate Flittering Spike. Oh, Red Flashbolt. Okay. And Arc Ramp is decent as well, but yeah, definitely taking Red Flashbolt. Yep. Decent Red Spell is better than the rest of this stuff. Yep. Oh, another Red Suture is good. If we're going to be playing them, we might as well play a few. Decent Blue. Decent Blue. Could probably not be playing this. I was listening to the Rantaways, which is now the new name of the Runaways podcast, yesterday, and Cody Williams was talking about how playing Acilio feels like it started really good. Like Acilio was good because no one knew how to play against him. Ooh, interesting. This card's probably better. But now it feels like it's really up to your opponent whether you win or lose. Like if your opponent, there is another Acilio, probably 2 Acilios in this pod. Mirror Tech. If your opponent is drafting Prevention, you lose most of the games. So he was really upset with that because it felt like anytime you draft Acilio, competent players beat you anyway. I think we're taking Aether Sling. Could consider taking Gillet to pair with Lace Lightning. But I think we can find another Seekers at some point, and we're not going to find a spell as good as Aether Sling. This pack is also loaded with Aurora cards. Okay, maybe we will find another spell as good as... We're in the same position, actually, but... Yeah, we're going to continue to take the really good cards. Court Reaction yellow is considerable as well, but I think we have lots of good instants, so I'm pretty happy taking Aether Sling. If we find a third Aether Sling, I think I'm done with that. We don't want that many 2-blocks. Step Between, decent card. Especially into Ziggy, which is Acilio's hard matchup. And these Acilio cards kind of don't do anything. So I think Step Between as Ziggy tech is actually a great idea. Good red spell is better than anything else. Arc Ramp is a lot of damage. Even if we don't play that everywhere, it's definitely good into Ziggy. Snap Finger's going around that hard. Okay, red spell is good. Browbeat is pretty interesting with Lace Lightning. But we have a 1 attack, sort of, and it's the 3 for 7. Heaven Veil is good. Stellar Flow Tide is good. Duality is good. Trying to think of any blues. We don't need that many blues. Let's pick Flow Slide. More good red spells. And yeah, Heaven Veil is good against the mirror, but there's only one other Acilio in this pod. Like max. Do we want a Lightning Flow or a kind of put on the bottom? Let's take a put on the bottom. Yeah. Decent red spell. I think our deck is going to end up flush with playable cards. Hey, we got Seekers, but Core Reaction's surely too good to pass up. I don't know. I do want a Seekers. Let's grab a Seekers. Red Duality is fine. We do need more blues. Flow is 1 HP and limited. That's true. Blue. Mirror Tech. Aurora card that we can't play. Okay. I think I'm happy with taking the Seekers there over the Core Reaction. Okay, that third piece of armor is sweet. Alright, Shred Niv. Okay, so we have a bunch of cards that we're not going to play everywhere. I think... What's this card called? I think it's Mirror Tech. I mean, Ziggy Tech. Arc Ramp. I think every yellow can effectively be cut. Well, not these ones. We're playing like a Blitz deck we got. Or a Sage deck. Definitely not playing yellow, Blue Suture, if we can help it. We haven't got that many blues. I guess Cosmic Flare is kind of a blue. Which makes this Visionary Orbitus worse. Definitely. We sided one card. We do want 1 attack, because we have Lace Lightning. Call it Blow Cilio, because it blows the opponent up. Did we actually copy this? I don't think we did. We definitely want to go first. Into blows the competition out of the water. Yeah, like a gun. Look at this guy. Into Aurora, we want slightly more damage prevention. Help us block out those quick strikes. So, opponent hasn't got any good like 2-cost preventions that make good tokens. So we're just gonna like make a ponder, send lessons for 5. Yeah? Or we can like send more arcane but not arsenal anything. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's just zap our opponent really hard and then we will not need an arsenal because our opponent is going to be halfway dead. And then we get to a flashbolt on the bottom. Yep. Okay, our opponent's basically starting on half. This is excellent. This hand, Aether Slings into Enion Surge, which is pretty good. Opponent wants Flow. We can't really stop them with a hand this, both this good and this unable to block. So I think we're just going to have to give it to them. This will just be a race game. This is just more damage. Yeah, sure. Well then, opponent. It's going to be like a 3-turn game, it looks like. Yes. Unfortunate. That's a very good Aurora second. So we're activating Cilio. I think if opponent can prevent this Aether Sling, chest prevent 2. Yeah, that's true, but it costs 1 and then we can't do the plays we want. I think if our opponent prevents his Aether Sling, we're in a bad spot, but why are we tapped? Why are we tapped? Oh, because we activated a hero ability. Right. Let me talk to my opponent. Alright. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna think a little harder, and we're not going to activate a Cilio. Yeah. Stuff for Aether Sling for sure, but we just need to remember that we can't tap our hero if we already tapped our hero. So hopefully what happens is opponent goes low, we use next turn to prevent some damage and zap them one more time, and then we can threaten to kill them. Yes, if instant untapped the staff, that would be cool, but the flow one's good too. Yeah. So we can't kill our opponent from 5. Not without Flashbolt. Okay, Cosmic Suture is excellent, although we don't really have a good spell. Should have used gloves. No, I can't use gloves because my hero is tapped. It taps your hero. So this comes in for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Arsenal Chromatic Refinement. Yeah. Or I can activate a Cilio Arsenal random card, but ping them for 2. Let's do that. That sounds good. Chronic Refinement we don't super want right now anyway, because pretty much any good spell kills them. Do we want this in our arsenal? Yeah, it does Arcane in our opponent's turn. That's good enough for me. And then they get to Scorpio, which does 2 damage, which we have to be able to live with. We didn't want to lose tokens more than we didn't want to take 2 damage. And I think I want my flow to try and kill my opponent. They only have 1 prevention per turn on board. So if we try and kill them this turn, they have to have prevention in hand. This hand definitely tries to kill them this turn. Does this have go again? No. So we can do 1. So if we activate a Cilio, we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is enough to kill them. And we don't die if they have something. And we need to do this before they get any flow. Yeah, I wish I had any arms that weren't Constellar Wave. June talked up Constellar Wave yesterday, and I don't think I agree. I don't think I like it. Okay, that's fine. See if our opponent has prevention. Yes, but next time you would deal Arcane. We can do this in response, and this does 2, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, they really didn't have it anyway. Okay, Acilio game. Classic Acilio game. Let's close some of these windows. We have this. Yeah, I don't think I like Constellar Waves very much. And this deck is not a good user of Lace Lightning. This card is extremely good in Ziggy and Aurora. Especially because they want to go second. If you activate this on turn 0, if Acilio tries to ping you or something, it's so good. Unfortunately, this list doesn't want to go second and doesn't have attacks that take advantage of it. We have our 1 attack, but it's not, if we don't draw it, the boots effectively are just overpriced, underpowered Seekers. It's not a good place to be. And the arms aren't always activatable, right? Definitely need to look out and remember how my hero works. Alright, Jotrick, who makes Talishar work, has claimed that the Vynnset problem should be fixed now, so that's good. Must have been a pretty easy fix. We might be here a while waiting for a game. I wonder if the Bandem restricted announcement is out. Because that would be good to talk about. No, I guess not. We can talk about Usurp the Shadow Throne though. Pretty excited for this set. Mostly I'm thinking about CC, right? Like another version of Chain is super cool. In general, getting Shadow back is awesome. We will get new Shadow cards for Vynnset. Might get new Shadow heroes that I'm interested in playing. Usurp seems like a pretty cool mechanic. Although I'm not sure that Vynnset is the best hero to take advantage of it. I'm not the most excited about getting a lot of new cards. Because there's like a lot of excitement that comes with a set being released and you actually getting a lot of cards, right? Like your hero can get really overhauled. And I'm really happy with how Vynnset is. I don't think I want Vynnset to get overhauled. I liked when she was just getting like one Majestic per set. Although I would like more Shadow commons. So if that's all I really care about, that's good. But the set seems pretty cool. Pretty cool. The Shadow Rimblade cards can be scary. Yeah, they could. They could be scary. I wonder if we can look at Fab Blazing for this weekend's Nats results as well. No, how can we do this? Tournaments. No, okay. I think I figured it out. We go meta, CC, but we shorten it to 7 days. We're going to look at paper. Okay, never mind. So, once again, we'll go first into Aurora, and we'll just try to blow them up. So, this hand doesn't really do that much damage. It does a little bit. They have decent prevention. It converts our hand really good. We get to Arsenal, Suture, and play Chromatic. We get to do 4 Arcane, which is pretty decent. Nowhere near as good as the 7 we did last game. Yeah, I think it's pretty good for Aurora to just crack all of her prevention equipment on turn 0. Potentially we should have used our Constellar Waves here. I hate just using them at the bat. Ban the current, should we? So, in the dev talk about how they did the big ban for Omens, James and Brian claimed that for the next set, so set 20 and set 21 that are being developed, there wasn't any plans to ban existing cards. So there wasn't going to be another Omens-like situation that they had foreseen. So hopefully not. Although I feel like we could lose something like Cull. So we can't really use this Meteoric Impact. Or this. This is just like 7 damage all on its own next turn. There's a 1-card hand. So maybe we just pitch this into Lace Lightning. Actually, I think I like that plan. This is actually 8 damage, right? Because we can tap waves. Yeah, I think I like my plan of putting this into Lace Lightning. And now, I mean, we just blocked with our only attack, so the embodiment matters 0%, but we have officially used our armor, which is good. Opponent Arsenal's Prevention. Although they have Ponder, so it could be anything really. Yep. Amp 1, kind of. Amp 1. And amp 1 opponent. My ear's itchy. Amp 1. How does 7 arcane, 8 arcane sound? Okay, they prevent some of it. That's all good with me. So I said no preemptive ban for next set. They did say that. Yeah, no preemptive ban. So they didn't foresee any cards needing to be banned before the next set. They're not going to release the set and then ban stuff unless it is broken, like after seeing play. But they're not doing an Omens. What am I interested in doing with this hand? Blocking, mostly. So okay, so if we block and play Suture, we also prevent the Scorp. Then we can play Anion Surge and Anion Surge and Arsenal Sling. That's decent. This is definitely a slower game than the last one, but that's good to see the deck function in 2 different ways. They want Shadow to be broken. I won't bet my 27 Nats. Yeah, look, Vynnset could LL, and I'm not happy about that, but as long as I can play a Shadow Hero, I think I'll still love Flesh and Blood. Runeblade, also cool, but I think as long as I can play a Shadow Hero, I'll play the game. This deck might need slightly more blues. Because this hand's not good. Sigil of Lightning. Okay, so this hand can block 6. I guess 7 if you count the Seekers. Prophetic Quickstep. I don't foresee the Ponder mattering. We're on 19. So I actually think we just take all of this, and then we can just play Flashbolt into Collision, and then potentially kill our opponent on their turn, or if not, we still have this Aether Sling. Yeah. Yeah. It's so much space, you might as well. No, I don't care, you can have a Ponder. Well, you've already got a Ponder. They only have one opponent. Don't get greedy. Are the arms 1 cost or 2? Okay, they're 1. Yeah, so we'll play Flashbolt. And then Comet Collision, not Comic Collision, that's not a card. We've seen both our Sutures, we're not going to see any more of those. Suture would be really good here. Otherwise we could just draw a bunch of instants, or just be happy to block and play a smaller hand. So, we could do 1, 2, 3 Arcane. I feel like that won't actually kill them. Okay, so we're just going to use Lightning Flow on the path. And not block it. Opponent has a flow. Yeah, so I think we're best off trying to sling them and kill them next turn. Another path. Yeah, we don't actually need flow. I'm a little bit worried about what comes next. Okay, so we're definitely not shooting our opponent this turn. Going to 2 seems decently safe. There's a world in which we just get to go sling into sling and our opponent dies. It's pretty good. Yeah, let's do this. If they play... Okay, cool. I was gonna say, if they play a prevention card, we can instant and then Volza in response, and then maybe still get the second sling off. But yeah, deck's good. Let's grab this again. Not Future Classic Constructed. Okay, what are we looking at? All tournaments, national tournaments. Cilio's still having a really good win rate. Jarl, doing pretty good. Jarl came 2nd in South Korea. No, Jarl won South Korea, I think. These heroes really meta share the biggest. Like, Jarl's more popular than Victor this week. That's crazy. Prism's gone. She's LL'd. I can't believe Mario dropped off. Gravy makes sense because this deck's hard. Like, not everyone can just play this deck. Let's look at this data from 7 days paper. Still doing bad into Gravy. My god, y'all. This looks pretty normal. Looks pretty normal. These numbers are generally going to be skewed because of small sample size. I mean, there's a decent sample size, but not massive. Not like what you'd get if you extended it for 30 days in paper. Like, look at this. That's a lot. 50-50 into a Cilio feels about correct, honestly. The gamble on whether they're playing on then a flash or not is sucky. Not being able to play D-Reacts into the deck is a bit annoying. Wonder how we can see All tournaments performance overview. Fatigue slop or based mid-range disruption Jarl? From what I saw in South Korea, it was an earth-based fatigue deck. I only saw it play into Prism, and the Prism had like 14 Spectra auras on board, so like the Jarl has to fatigue that matchup. But I think because it's earth-based, it's likely to be kind of fatigue-oriented, right? Nationals, Korea. I just went past a way to go. South Korea. So, yes, Jarl did win in Korea. Right? Oh no, this is the number 1 of this hero. Maybe it was Prism? It does say best performance. Top 2. Yeah, okay. Right? I don't understand some of this. Wish there was a better way to look at the nationals from around the world. Do we have an article yet? Can you imagine it live? Margin-based face everywhere. Ooh, after this draft game, I'm going to be logging off. So if you have anything important to say, you better say it now. What was the, there was that weird thing going on with TCG player. You slurp. This. Top 2 for top 2 players of the heroes. Okay, so I don't know then. This. So they say in here that we have 2 fables in the set, which is super interesting. To me, this is so bright, so overblown. To me, that reads like light and shadow fables, 2 separate ones. But I kind of feel like light's not in this set. If it is, then that's what I would presume. Okay, we can enable chat. I'll go first. Okay, opponent's going to the bathroom. Control Shift T. Oh, I remembered. 27 marvels, so we know that like there's 7 rune chants, Balgor, and the token. That's 9. But there's still 16 more. That's a lot of marvels, surely. We also know about the Armory deck Malice, which is... So, yeah, Full Shadow would be cool. Which is a CC Armory deck for presumably one of the heroes in the set. It's normal MSRP, so it's not a Origins deck, which we can also see by the name. So presumably there will be Chain and Malice in this set. And also there is the whole Hero A, Hero B thing. So we're getting 2 of Hero A and 4 of Hero B in the little like Sage Blitz decks. Okay, so we play a Ziggy deck, and I think Arc Ramp might be good. Because I feel like Ziggy always tries to fatigue you. Maybe cut Suture. said that they spitted the stock in these 2 sets. Yeah, they split the marbles into 2 sets. Yeah, his hand's not fantastic. We can deal 6, which I guess is what we're going to do. I bet Malice has multiple classes. Captain, I like your enthusiasm, but I don't think so. Let's put Lessons Past on the... Oh, we forgot to tap our Volza. Let's put Lessons Past on the bottom so that we can line it up with like a looping and instant thing. Shapeshifter hero. Sorry, Captain, but I do not believe in the multi... 4 versions is kind of cool. Same hero, 4 versions I can get behind. But like 1 hero card with multiple classes, I don't think will be true. Like technically Pirate is a class, but it's kind of not. Circular Flow Tide. Should we be activating waves? I feel like maybe we just should, right? Use it or lose it. Y'all won South Korea. It was a rematch game where he lost the first against Prism and then won in the finals. That's good for y'all. Opponent has an Ominous Aggression, which we need to be very careful about. Blue Retort, which is not a massive deal, although if we want to ping them to death at the end, we need to be aware. And they're pitching a Space Dust. Okay, so they're keeping Retort, which they might just resolve now for the go again. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 prevention. So they take 3. Yep. Oh, they have Embodiment, so there's no point in them playing Thunderous Retort. All action hand is not what you want to see, although if they send some fragments at us, that's kind of good. Best play is probably blocking with the blue ones, playing this by pitching Tap Lessons Past, arsenaling the other Lightning Overload. So this leaves us taking 2, and this leaves us taking none. Let's take none and assume that they don't have a second fragment, and if they do, then we can just block with these cards. They're not... I think like there is a fatigue concern here where we want all the arcane a deck has. It's not like the worst. Okay, they just send a 5 at us. So I think we are going to block that. And then just pitch and play this Overload. I like putting the Lessons on the bottom. Retort goes on the bottom. Also, can we say Awesome Captain Sass has once again nailed this art. Look how cool this is. I just love his style. It's so much more expressive than a lot of like fantasy art. Like this stuff is great and it's kind of like fantasy realistic. A second Space Dust, but this is just so expressive and fun. Okay, we're getting Space Dusted. Getting zapped a lot, actually. Should mean that in our next turn we can do, like we can convert a full hand hopefully. Opponent won't be attacking us. Oh right, this is not a tap your hero, it's a Starfall. Captain Jason's an awesome artist. I think so too. I can't wait. I'm gonna get him back again to do some drawing in a video. I'm just not sure exactly how that'll work. Oh, they are gonna send a fragment. So this hand is very good, and it's very bad if we block with much. I guess we can block with this. Can't just take 5 forever. Might as well give them the fragment text while it's not relevant. Unfortunately, we can't use Volzar this turn. Although by playing it with Flashbolt, we don't need to break a lightning flow. So we get 6 in here. Full face. Okay. 6 damage is good. Step between is nice. We're gonna resolve that. If only there was Phantasm in this set. Yeah, we're definitely not blocking a Volatile Fluxor. Okay, that's pretty good. I was gonna say we could be happy to armor it, but opponent's got +4 instead of +1. This one makes embodiment. Okay. So Step Between's not doing anything in this hand. I feel like we can block like this and arsenal the Step Between and try and get our opponent with it. Giving multiple embodiments means nothing, so blocking with 2 cards over 1 card doesn't matter. Yeah, opponent has a lot of flow. And lots of prevention. Not a very good hand. Yeah, I don't know. What are we gonna do with this? We're gonna play out our instants and then try and do a big impact, but we're just wasting all the ponder value. There was part of me that thought about Step Between and then play the instants, because now they can't play prevention cards, but they have so many flow that it doesn't actually matter. I feel like we're not winning this game. Road Authority. Definitely need to be blocking that with at least 1 card. Start by blocking with the blue. I say at least 1 card, as if we can block with more than 1. And then 5 more. We don't want to go too close to Aphrodite's range. Okay, so turn is Flow Slide, Volzar, Comet Collision. Holding this step between... Line up with Lace Lightning would be excellent. We're not really drawing hands that can use Lace Lightning efficiently. Our opponent's not sending things where we feel like Lace Lightning is good. Yep, okay. Not great. So we block this. This goes down. We can get away with maybe not blocking this, right? We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take 2. We have flow for Aphroditeus, but Auric Shards kills us. Or we can block this for 4. And Suture, and then Step Between. We can discard to Acilio. No, because then we're wasting the Ponder. I think we're definitely blocking, because I don't want to die to Auric Shards. It's crazy there were so many Acilios, and yet this deck is still good. +1. Okay, well, we're right to be afraid. But not Auric Shards levels of afraid. Yes. So we can consider zapping them here, but it takes so many of our resources we just kind of die. So let's not do that. Okay, so this would have us taking 5 and dying, so we definitely need to play Suture. And Aphroditeus. I think it's worth keeping this 1, right? So we'll just use these. And if we get lucky, our opponent will just have no cards that just, like, are action cards. If they just don't have block value, we could win. Or if their instants don't convert aggressively, we could win. Opponent has at least 1 card that can block. We can put them down to 2 and then try and kill them on their turn. Right, they can still block with D-Rex, it only stops instants. That's fine. Good answer, opponent. Been sitting on trapped with that in Arsenal forever. Okay, so this doesn't help us kill our opponent, but we can do well, not on their turn. I mean, it can do 5 on our turn. I don't feel confident that we're winning this game. We're way down deck as well. Okay. Opponent attacks with duality. Okay. Happily blocking that. Yeah. Hopefully our opponent tries to zap us this turn. They might have their space dust that they pitched early. If that's true, we get to use our equipment because we have this floating resource. Oh, cold. They do have their space dust. Let's activate these now before they can do any flickering and trick us, scam us. If this does any damage at all, we get to put flash bolts on the bottom of our deck, which could help us actually win this game. Putting these other lessons past might actually just be better to put it on the bottom. Okay, so this damage gets prevented by Lace Lightning. Let's see how much they take. If they take nothing, I think we can just bottom this. Okay, well now we definitely have to do this or we die. Flow Slide. Yeah, we do want the prevention and the potentially zapping them on their turn thing. We go to 1 here, which sucks pretty bad, but our opponent is taking damage by the look of it. It could have like a brush off or Calm Veil in Arsenal or something like that. Yes. Flashbolts. So we're going... what are we drawing? 2 instances, pretty good. So we can zap them for 2. Or we can zap them on our turn and then zap them in the response and then zap them in response. That seems pretty good. This turn they haven't got Aphroditeus up, right? So if they have prevention, they live... Alright, we'll do it on our turn, because if they survive, we flashbolt them. And if they Aphrodite us, then we just take the L on that one. I can't chromatic spell because this only reduced costs on red. Otherwise, yes, that would be a good plan. Wait, no, what are we doing? This is not the way we planned it. We shoot them first with an action card. Okay, duality is lethal. So in response, we uplift. Opponent interested in our stream, just briefly. So even if they have a prevention effect, so this doesn't do damage, but once it resolves, we can Volza, right? Okay. So we still need to play Flow Stride in order to so, oh, we can actually do it like this, right? We can play this first in order to survive the duality trigger. And then this will resolve and untap the staff and do 2 arcane, which clears this. And we can Volzar again. And this still has them... Oh, they get a second flow. So this has them taking just 1 and living, but then they die to our Flashbolt. Okay. So they don't take any... Nice. Nice opponent. Just got there. Yeah, because Flashbolt just kills them. Oh, good. 2-1 is as good as I want at Nats. I feel like that deck is good enough to 3-0. But Ziggy is a hard matchup. And definitely I needed to prioritize some more blues. Just maybe 2 more. Like the sutures, I still don't really love suture. Especially because if you play a lot of blues in Ziggy, in Acilio, your deck is weaker to getting fatigued. Which happens basically any Ziggy will be able to do. And if you don't play blues, you can't play suture. It just sucks really bad. Like, I think didn't lose us that game, but every time it showed up, it was bad. And a 3-block probably would have been better. So I'm not sure I'm a Suture fan, to be honest. One last check for the BNR article. We didn't get it. That's okay. Thank you for joining me for the streams for 4 days. No more streams for the foreseeable future, although I'm sure I'll do more at some point. I have Nats up at the end of the week, on the weekend, so I will let you know how I go, and I'll probably make a video tomorrow about the BNR when we eventually get it. When we get that, I will definitely make a video if anything important gets banned. If there's nothing, then there's nothing, but yeah. So, see you around. Thanks for joining. Have a nice day.